What's up, y'all? Welcome back. We are jumping back into Fish in a Tree. We're doing chapters 20 to 23 today, so 4 chapters. 4 short chapters, actually. Make sure you answer all those questions down below. If you have any questions about today, join the Zoom conference at 11:30. We'll have our conversations like we always do on there, and I can walk you through some stuff. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Happy Tuesday, or Wednesday. It's Tuesday on this video. I'm recording it on Monday, so it's on Tuesday. Happy Tuesday! Alright, here we go. Chapter 20. Is this a good thing? I hear the front door slam and Travis calls me. He sounds happy. I mean, really happy. He appears in the doorway of my room. Guess what? What? I ask, but he doesn't answer. He just stands there with a big dumb grin on his face. And then I notice what he has in his hand, and I jump. You got it? Really? He still doesn't answer. He just shakes the keys like a baby rattle. So we run outside, sitting there at the curb, and this at the curb is a surprise. But not this kind of surprise I'd hoped for. I know it doesn't look like much, but he's wrong. It looks like a lot. It's an enormous bright green. I mean, seriously. It's like a pickle with tires. No, I say. It's cool. You can't lie to me, Squirt. I know you too well. Why are there lines on it? I ask, leaning in. Oh, well, I guess the guy had the car painted and it brushed it with a spray gun. I'll have to sand that out and strip the chrome on the side, but the engine is good. It's gonna fly. The only way this thing is gonna fly is if he straps it to a giant balloon. A sketchbook picture is already drawing itself in my head. And there's no computers in a car this old. Just a man and his machine. I look up. Is that really a good thing? He shoves me a little. You'll love it when it takes us places. To the beach? Six Flags? I look up. Really? Wherever you want to go, Squirt. I had never imagined that this car would be our car. That he would take me places. You want to take it out with me now? Sure. Am I pushing or pulling? You're going to be sorry you dissed this beauty. I'm telling you. You've got to be loyal to your car. Travis, you know it's only a car, right? Only a car, he asks. Only a car? He runs to the other side and slides in. He unlocks the door for me and I get in. It's a big bench seat. The walking Liberty $50 hangs from his rearview mirror. It makes me feel like Dad and Grandpa are with us. When he turns on the engine, it sounds like a giant with a bad cough. We head up to Farmington Avenue past St. Thomas Church. It had been raining all morning, and now it starts again. Big raindrops fall on the windshield like bombs. Travis says a bad word, pulls over, and grabs a silver spring and a piece of wet rope from the glove compartment. What are you doing? He jumps out into the rain, grabbing the windshield wiper on my side and connecting it to something at the bottom of the window with the spring. Then he ties that wiper to the second wiper and throws the rope through his window and jumps in, laughing and dripping wet. What the heck are you doing, I ask. 3 hours, he says. What are you talking about? 3 hours after this thing was registered this morning, the wiper motor went. So, I went by the hardware store and rigged this up. Watch. With his left arm, he pulls the rope and the wipers clear the window of water. And then he lets go. The spring yanks them back down, slapping them to the bottom of the window. Hey, I thought you said you were a genius, I joke. I am. All geniuses deal with bugs in the system. Isn't that more like what anteaters do? Hilarious. He laughs. Isn't it a little hard to drive and do that? You're right, Squirt. You can do the wipers, he says, throwing the rope in the back seat. Climb over and sit behind me. Okay, I say, climbing over the seat. I give the rope a pull and let go, and the wipers slap up and down. It's kind of fun to see the wipers clear the window, make the blurry clear. And I think what a great drawing this will be later, and I'm happy for the weird pickled colored car. Wow, this is fun. And hard, I tell Travis. My arm's getting tired. He watches me in the rearview mirror and laughs. And I laugh too. And it makes pulling the rope even harder. We pull up to a red light and Travis tells me to look at the face of the lady riding in the car next to us. And I do. She looks shocked, and I think her expression is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Until I see Shay sitting next to her. As soon as Mr. Daniel steps into the hallway to talk to another teacher, Shay says in her "I'm being loud on purpose so everyone can hear me" voice, So, Jessica, yesterday I saw that Allie riding in this disgusting green-colored car that I can't even believe was allowed on the road. Allie had to pull a rope to even get the windshield wipers to work. You must be joking, says Jessica. Allie, what junkyard did you find that heap in, Jessica? Jessica laughs like she's surprised too. I try to ignore them. My mom always said you just ignore mean people because they're only trying to get a rise out of you. I mean, what kind of loser would have a car like that? Probably the only thing your mother can afford. Finally, I can't take it. It's my brother Travis's car, and it's not a loser car. Oh no, it's a loser car, all right. I guess that makes your brother Travis a loser. They laugh. I didn't think there could be any bigger loser than you, Allie, but I guess I was wrong, Shay says. Shut up, I say to Shay, just as Mr. Daniel walks back in. You're the losers. You, not him. Allie, Mr. Daniel calls. Come here, please. What? I ask, trying not to sound disrespectful. I haven't known you to be a name caller before. They can call me anything they want, and believe me, they do. But they can't say anything about Travis. Never. Is Travis your older brother? He's my big brother. He half smiles. Is there a difference? Yeah, there is. An older brother is older. A big brother looks out for you and smiles when you walk into the room. He nods slowly. I see. He clears his throat. I understand you're upset, and I appreciate that you're defending his brother. I understand that you're upset, and I appreciate that you're defending your brother. But walk away next time, okay? I nod, but I have to admit that I'm getting awfully tired of walking away. Chapter 21, Butterfly Wishes. Our classroom is brainstorming ideas for a community service project. Shay raises her hand. I'm having a birthday party and inviting everyone because I don't want to leave anyone out. How does that relate to our community service project, Keisha says, and the whole class waits for an answer. Well, it's about community, everyone being involved. Yeah, right, Keisha whispers to me. Mr. Daniels compliments Shay on inviting everyone and moves on quickly. Later, as we get our stuff for lunch in recess, Shay speaks to Jessica in her loud voice. I'm so mad my mother is making me invite everyone. Then she looks directly at Keisha and me and says, I hope some people know better than to actually show up. My mom insists I go to Shay's party, even after I tell her that Shay is mean, and my mom asks, well, there will be other kids there, right? You may actually have fun. Albert grabbed his invitation from the mailbox before his mother saw it. Keisha's family is visiting her grandmother, so I'm alone. At lunch, I asked Albert and Keisha about some diseases I can use as an excuse to go. How about the bubonic plague, otherwise known as the Black Plague, Albert says. Keisha almost spits out her milk. Seriously? That may be a bit much, I say. But then I begin to wonder, what does that look like anyway? Oh, well, chills, fever, cramps, seizures, toes, fingers, nose, and lips turn black because the cells die, and you'd likely spit blood. Albert, Keisha says, that's nuts. She can be sick like a normal person, you know. Cough, runny nose, sound familiar? That's fine, he says, taking a bite of his sandwich. It just seems uninteresting. That's all. Shay's party is at the Butterfly Gardens, and when I arrive, I recognize some of the girls from our other classrooms. They are all wearing friendship bracelets. Jessica wears even more now. I still ache to have some and wonder if Keisha would like a bracelet like that. Soon we are lined up and brought to the main butterfly garden, which is a clear plastic tent set up inside a big room. The tent is filled with plants and flowers, and flying around are tons of butterflies. People stand there as butterflies land on them, and you can feel how happy people are just by watching their eyes. Before we enter the tent, a lady talks to us about the butterflies. She tells us about their patterns and to look for ones with a giant dot on each wing. These are adaptations to scare other animals into thinking they are eyes, so other animals will think they're bigger and more dangerous and leave them alone. I wish I could do this with Shay and Albert, and that Albert could do it with the boys. She reminds us not to grab any butterflies because they are easily injured. We're supposed to stand and let them come to us. Then the lady points to me and says, they'll love your orange shirt. She's right. The butterflies do come to me. Their colors and patterns make me wonder why I haven't ever been drawing butterflies. They don't fly like birds. Instead, they kind of fly all over the place. Makes me wonder if I'm part butterfly. I put my arms out like a tree, and one, then two lands on my arm. I love them. I never knew how much I loved butterflies. I think about the story Albert told in social studies when we were studying Native Americans. He said that they believed butterflies were special creatures and wish givers, and that if you can catch a butterfly, whisper your deepest secret to it, and then set it free, it will carry your wish to the spirits, who will grant it. I would never grab a butterfly, but once again, my hands do things without my say-so. When a beautiful, bright, and orange and black one lands on my hand, I loosely close my fist around it. And then my thinking part steps forward, and I look quickly, realizing what I've done. I open my hand, and the butterfly zigs and zags before landing on the ground. The lady who gave us the directions is sitting next to me in a second. "Oh no, what have you done?" she asked. I want to explain about wish givers, Shay and the others. It figures it was Allie. She probably killed it. Everyone knows you can't touch a butterfly's wings. I didn't kill it. I would never hurt it. I had a wish, and I thought that... The girls laugh. "Such a freak show," Shay says. Suki rushes to the butterfly to try and help, but a woman runs over and tells her to step back. "Who are you with?" the woman asks me. Shay's mother steps forward. "She's with us, but she's not my daughter. She's part of my daughter's party." I wish my own mom were here. She'd understand. I feel terrible watching the butterfly on the ground, flapping its wings and going nowhere. I know the feeling. The first butterfly lady wears white gloves and she puts the injured one to a box and says, "At least its wings aren't torn." The second lady stares at me like I'm a ruthless butterfly hunter. I want to say I'm sorry, but I forget to because I'm watching mind movies of the butterfly falling and never being better. And then the movie is filled with butterflies that are all falling like rain. All I feel is as sad as I did watching the real one fall. Suki comes over. "I know you didn't hurt the butterfly on purpose." "Thanks," I mumble. She's right, but it was still my hand. I guess I had to make that wish. Sometimes a person will do just about anything for a wish to come true. Chapter 22. No Way to Treat a Queen. Later, I try to talk to Albert, but a recording says that the number is no longer in service, and I worry that he had to move away or something. When I see him at school on Monday, I am so relieved. I run up to him. "Albert, is it true that if you touch a butterfly's wings, you keep it from flying ever again? Basically kill it?" A rather curious question for such a cold day. In temperatures such as these, "Albert, just tell me, yes or no?" "No, it is a myth. You render a butterfly unable to fly by touching its wings. The powdery residue on their wings is actually scales. They shed these scales on a regular basis, so merely touching them is okay. You can only injure the butterfly if its wings are torn." I remember how the lady said its wings weren't torn. I hug Albert until I realize what I'm doing. His surprised expression is hilarious, like Einstein himself just told him that the earth is not round but instead shaped like a spoon. "Nice shirt, Albert. Is it new?" Shay laughs at her own comment before he can answer. She draws her fingers down on her own sleeve. "I got a new sweater. It's purple, which is the color of royalty," she says, looking directly at me. "That's why it's my favorite." I wonder what she wants from us, and I hate that I never know what to say to her. I come up with great comebacks to her the next morning, hunched over a bowl of cereal. "Indeed. Purple is the color of royalty," Albert tells Shay. Yes, it is." Her voice is sing-songy and makes me wish she'd go eat paste. "You two are just so uncouth," she turns to me. I bet Allie doesn't even know what the word uncouth even means. "Do you?" "I know what uncouth means," Albert says. "I know something else too. Only an uncouth person would wear snail snot." She looks at us like we're wearing it. "You say royal is a color of royal. Purple is the color of royals," he says. "They only wore purple because it was the most difficult and expensive color to make. In medieval times, they needed to collect 3,000 Murex brandaris snails to have enough slime to make one cloak. So good for you. I'd prefer beige." He turns to me. "What about you, Allie? Slime or beige?" "Oh, I'd have to go for beige." I tried not to smile, as much as I want to, and I try to keep my voice from sounding as happy as it is, but the look on Shay's face when she looks down at her sweater like she's actually covered in snail slime is pretty unforgettable. Chapter 23. Words That Breathe. Monday is vocabulary day, when Mr. Daniels goes over the new words for the week. As far as reading lessons go, this isn't so bad. All I have to do is listen as he tells us the words' meanings, and I can usually remember it because I make mind movies about each other, and that helps me remember. I've always had one important rule in the classroom, which is to try and lie low. If I'm called upon, I'll say, I don't know, even if I do. I discovered that giving a teacher an answer makes them expect more from me, and then everyone gets disappointed. If they never get an answer from me, they stop asking. But today, during vocab, Mr. Daniels brings up 2 words, alone and lonely. He asks for volunteers to explain the two. It's like my arm doesn't belong to me when it goes up. Mr. Daniels stops mid-sentence and looks at me. Yes, Allie? What have I done? I try to figure out what I should say, maybe ask to go get a drink, but the thing is that something deep inside of me really wants to answer, because I'm an expert on the 2 words. I know what they mean, and I know how they feel, especially after that butterfly party. Mr. Daniels' eyes are wide, and they are waiting for me. Allie, he says, it's okay, take your time. And it's like he can see right into my guts, knows how sad I am, like he's handing me a flashlight in a dark room. I lock eyes with Mr. Daniels, and I forget anyone else is there. I say, well, alone is a way to be. It's like being by yourself with no one else around, and it can be good or bad, and it can be a choice. When my mom and brother are both working, I'm alone, but I don't mind it. I swallow hard and shift in my seat. But being lonely is never a choice. It's not about who's with you or not. You can feel lonely when you're alone, but the worst kind of lonely is when you're in a room full of people, but you're still alone. Or you feel like you are anyways. I look at Mr. Daniels, his hands stuffed in his pocket, and his face looks sad. I try to remember what I just said, but speaking in class has made me so nervous that my mind is doing an etch-a-sketch thing, unable to play my words back. What did I say? Why does he look like that? Staying quiet and having people think you're stupid is better than talking and having people know for sure. Mr. Daniels says my name. Huh? No one laughs, not even Shay or Jessica. Well, he says, if I had a trophy to give out for best answer of the year, I'd give it to you for that. He throws up his hands to celebrate. That was, well, excellent. I stare at my desk, wondering why he would say that. Allie? I look up. Thanks, I say, feeling like I have to move. Leave. Why is he acting like I won the Brain Olympics? Just because I answered a question? Can I please go to the bathroom now? Mr. Daniels seems confused. Yeah, sure. Allie, go ahead. When I stand, Shay squints at me and shakes her head. She doesn't even have to say anything, and my brain plays the things she would say. Even when I do something right, I feel like I've done something wrong. If I were a coin, I'd be a wooden nickel. Alright, that's where we're going to stop today. Make sure you answer all those questions below. 2 sentences per answer today. Complete sentences, please. I know you guys can do it. Alright, have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.